fighter. Lightning in fire. Fight.
1 2 mic check 1 2 1 2. Make sure I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Make sure we live and then cut. You know what I'm saying? So, welcome to a brand new episode of the Gamer Section Podcast. I am Kano, the brutally honest gamer. You dig?
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Sinister, and yep, we have returned.
Yes. We over here still trying to work out the kinks of OBS. We were really just trying to like get our avatars up on here because there's gonna be some days that we're going to appear on camera and some days we're not going to appear on camera. Like today, we're not appearing on camera. So yeah, man, we're getting the kinks worked out. And all's in, B's well. You know what I'm talking about. We're gonna get everything good to go. But anywho, Sinister, go ahead and hit him off with that Dub Energy sponsorship.
All right, yeah. So anybody's like, you looking like the game or do need a productivity? He's like, you need some like clean energy without the sugar crash. Then try Dub Energy. Yeah, and the best thing is you get a discount, and that discount code is the gamer section. So basically, yeah, like whatever you're doing, like content creating, gameplay, need that clean energy without the crash, then try Dub Energy. That's DUBBY, and the code gamer section at checkout.
Already. Go get that Dub Energy drink and powder and all that other stuff. It's actually good. Got some good flavors. Got some s'mores flavors if y'all like that. They got some cookies and cream flavors. They got sour flavor. Yeah, they got all types of flavors. You feel what I'm saying? So if y'all want to go get that, go get that. You did. But anywho, let's go ahead and dive into the show. So, Sinister Man, what you have been playing for the actual week?
Well, let's see. On the review side, I'm done Jaws, which that review is up right now.
Yeah.
Outside of the reviews, I went back to play Ghost of Yotei a little bit more because I want to try to tackle my backlog a little bit more. So that's base about it. And of course, the more important thing is, hubby and daddy duties. Yeah, but like I said, my little one, she's starting to get into gaming, so that's good to know.
Oh, word? Well, yeah, she's gonna be at that at them Evo events, beating people up in Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and all that. So she's gonna win.
Yep, she's a daughter of because both her parents are gamers.
Nah, figurative facts, no fiction. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Miss Blaze, you feel me? You know, that's Miss Blaze, Sinister, and their little one, they doing their thug this for shizzle. But for me, what games have I been playing outside of the reviews? I could say like one review title. Well, I can't really say the name of the game. All I could say is it's coming out this week and it's a highly anticipated game. That's basically the best way I actually can say it. Make sure y'all can hear me clearly, as clear as day. But yeah. Other than that, the games that I have been playing outside of the reviews that I've been playing and beating. I'm wrapping up Devil May Cry 5. Definitely. I already beat it before, but I'm beating it again. Resident Evil Requiem. I'm over halfway done with my second playthrough on that game. That game is phenomenal. That's up there as Game of the Year contender. That's figurative facts, no fiction. Point blank, period. You hear me?
I mean, already that's my Game of the Year.
Nah, I feel that. Unfortunately, we don't have Crimson Desert yet. So I've been hearing everybody been talking about Crimson Desert, but we don't have the game yet in our possession. So we'll see about trying to get the game down the road. You know what I'm saying? But right now, we don't have the game of Crimson Desert. But anywho, what other games I've been playing? I've been finishing up Echoes of the End, which is kind of up and down. It's like hit or miss with that game. You can see the potential, but it's hit or miss. You feel what I'm saying? And also I've been playing on PC. That Morbid Metal game. That game there. We got a review coming for that this weekend. I got some good things, but I got more. It got more cons than pros with that game since it's already released. And Samsung, that game there they released a lot of exactly. They released patches within that game, but it still needs a lot more work. If that makes any sense.
Right, because I mean, I had a chance to try it for myself. I was like, yeah, I was like, I was able to even like switch on the settings around, but it's still you can tell like there's a lot more work needs to be done on it.
Exactly. It definitely needs some work, but you could see the potential there. You dig? So I can't knock the devs behind that,
Right.
but they still need some work in that sense. You heard me? So it is what it is. It comes with it, with the pros and cons, with the knick-knack, paddywhacks, give a dog about. You
Yeah.
dig?
I
But
mean, down the road it will look. I mean, it'd be phenomenal and stuff like that. Once like post patch, everything's fixed up. Should be a better experience.
now, figgity facts, no fiction. But yo, I'm telling you though, man, gaming this week alone has been really heavy in the news department. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we got a lot to talk about today, man. It's about to be all elite, like all elite wrestling around these parts. You dig what I'm saying?
Hey, any
So
wrestling fans out there? Dynasties tonight.
exactly. So we're gonna try to do this podcast as quickly as possible. No, just playing. We're gonna do what we do. We talk about gaming as the best that we can talk about gaming as the best. You dig what I'm saying? So we gotta do what we gotta do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and really dive in and really talk about it right now, right? So first and foremost, let's go ahead and talk about Xbox. Okay. Now,
Mhm.
yeah. So within Xbox, ever since Asha, that's what I'm gonna call Asha.
Asha Shamra.
Asha Shamara. I'm gonna just say Asha, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I might forget the last name anyway. I'm not the best with names like that. People that may not know this. I may
That's what
remember
you
her
have me
face.
for.
Exactly. I may remember a face because I don't forget a face, but I might forget a name down the road. You know what I mean. But anywho, Asha, she's basically took over uh the realms of Phil Spencer and Sarah Bonds about a few months ago, right?
Mhm.
And we've seen already a massive turnaround of what they're actually trying to do. So let's go ahead and dive into the actual factual, not rational in this whole ordeal. So when it comes to what she has done so far, it seems like she's really putting her best foot forward in the console market. She's really putting the emphasis on the console situation, what's going on with Xbox. And I think that's a beautiful thing based off the fact that when Phil Spencer and Sarah Bonds took the realms, you know, it was starting to be Xbox anywhere. This is an Xbox, but that is not what Xbox is all about. Xbox roots came from the console first. So it should
Exactly.
exactly. And it should be console first. You dig? And everybody know me, I'm an Xbox guy. You know what I'm saying? I like PlayStation, Nintendo, and PC and all that too, but I'm an Xbox guy.
Yeah.
But
Same here.
yeah, but when you look at the Series X, it kind of became an afterthought towards the end of that cycle of being around Phil Spencer and Sarah Bonds. So as Usher actually took over the realms, and this is just me being real, she has turned a lot of things around. She has did a lot of brand new features within the whole not user interface, but look at the achievements. The achievements is a lot different now than when she since they updated. Not only that, when you go ahead and go into the Xbox, when you turn the Xbox on, right, and when you go and look at what it is, that little menu part where you have the home and all that other stuff, and when
Right.
you know what I'm talking about, that little mini menu thing. So you can see the colors under it. You can switch the colors the way you want to, the whole nine. They added that feature. They did the achievements thing. They actually got a dedicated team for fan feedback. And then one of the key things that I always been, putting in play for Microsoft to do is go back to exclusivity to a degree. I'm not talking about as far as like for Activision Blizzard King, but more so for Xbox Game Studios itself to have their exclusive titles. Like let Gears of War continue to stay exclusive, not no time exclusivity, permanent exclusivity. Let Halo be exclusive and let Forza be exclusive. Don't let them go to other platforms because look like Sony's doing the same thing of going back to the roots of exclusivity. And the same thing with Nintendo. So the whole ordeal when it comes to Microsoft is they got to continue to compete in the highest caliber. And once they compete into the highest caliber, things can go better for them. And one thing before I know Sinister about to say something, another thing that I was talking about this the other day, so I was talking about this to my brother the other day, right? And I was saying that what also helped these companies sell exceptionally well is creating bundles, designer type of bundles, right? Like look back in the days of the Xbox 360, PS3, and Nintendo Wii days when they actually put out these bundles with the game that comes with it and the design of the console. If you looked at Halo, for example, and Gears and how their consoles was designed uniquely, and you have the free game with it, and it was a bundle. That would go well if they would continue to do bundles. You feel me? Like, Sinister, let me ask you this question. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing all the talking, so it's your turn. Like, what is some of the things that you want Microsoft to do?
I mean, so far, like you already mentioned, but I like what they're doing with the achievement system. I just like one of the things. Yeah, because like back then, like they always like to show all these different kinds of controls, which I'm not knocking, but I think you probably need to add a little bit of stuff more into it. Like, I mean, the bundles. I mean, that's a great idea. Like, Pacific game bundles with the game with it. I mean, that's things cool. No, but more importantly, I like to see competition back because that's what drove all three, like the 360, the PS3, the Wii, the original Wii, how they all compete against each other because, like, hey, there was creativity, that's what made it thrive. But once we got to the PS4, well, basically the 8th gen, that's when everything started going downhill. But but of course not for PS4. I mean, they did great that generation, but you get what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
No, but
Go ahead.
Yeah, before turn it back to you. I just want to see Xbox compete again instead of like throwing in the towel or tapping out like like a UFC fighter would do.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. No, I'm listening to you, man. You made some valid points. It's all about competition, but it seems like Asha is making, taking the right steps to, put Microsoft in a better position for not only the rest of this generation, but to the next generation with Project Helix.
Exactly.
And it's a beautiful thing because it's time to compete again. It's time to compete to show why you have a better platform than any other brand. And I feel like that would be a beautiful thing if they can actually do that. They already got the games, they got the studios now because if you look back at the Xbox 360 and Xbox One days in that stage, they didn't really have no first party studios. Like they only had like 4 to 5 studios. Now they still got a wide range of say over 25 studios in counting, and you can create
are not closed.
exactly, and they got a boatload of games they can actually put together that's going to be worthwhile. Like for example, and we still talking about Xbox. The unfortunate side is there's rumors going around about Fable possibly being delayed and moving to spring of 2027. Personally, for me, I wouldn't be mad at that based off the fact that they're giving the game more time to be polished and put out right. And Microsoft has a lot of exclusive titles. Well, I'm not gonna say 100% exclusive. Some exclusive titles. They got what we just said. Microsoft got a lot of games coming out this year alone, right? Because for Double Fine Productions, they got that killing game, that multiplayer game, which personally I don't care for. I'll try it, but I don't care for it. That's coming out later on this month. Then you have Gears of War E-Day. Then you got the Halo Combat Evolved remake. You feel me? I don't know. I can't remember all of them off the top of the head. Just name a few. Oh yeah, Forza Horizon 6. You feel me? That's right. That's right. Sinister Valley.
Oh yeah, and also shout out to Miss K, my racing sis.
Yeah, but Forza Horizon 6 sucks.
Yo, watch it. You really want to get double team, don't you?
All right, I would chill. Now I'll be joking, man. I'll be trolling, man. Forza Horizon 6 is actually a phenomenal game. So that's that. When we do play it, I know it's gonna be phenomenally bad.
Next month.
Yo, I'm telling you, Miss K will go in on me next video watch.
Mhm.
Now I'm just joking, man. Forza Horizon 6 is gonna be fire, man. I can't wait to play that game when it drops next month. But all jokes aside, though, Microsoft have so many games in the pipeline. They putting their major focus on console gaming again, which is a great thing. And they talking about fan feedback. They got a dedicated team towards it. That's a good thing. Um, Another key thing that they got to work on outside of competition is better in their marketing strategy because
Yes, that's
you
been their
know
biggest weakness.
yeah, the biggest weakness has been their marketing strategy. Like, Sony, they're king at marketing, and some Nintendo's right behind them in that sense. Microsoft has to come together and really put together a solid plan on marketing their future titles. It don't matter if they're small titles or big titles. They really got to put together a plan that's going to be beneficial and worthwhile. Because if not, I don't know, it's going to be a bad predicament. You know what I'm talking about?
Exactly. It's like you see the number of commercials out there. Yeah, the most is by Sony,
Yeah.
followed by Nintendo. But it's like, I mean, for Xbox, you basically see at least like one or two commercials, like whatever upcoming game that they have going on. But I mean, yeah, but it's like now with Asha, being in charge, it's like I hope she, get the right team together. Say, hey, like in the marketing, say, hey, we need to start doing better marketing. Say, hey, we're gonna fix stuff on the gamer side, but on the marketing side, we need to, improve on that, massively improve on there, so they, like I said, compete.
Now, figgity facts, no fiction, man. And like I say though, man, I'm definitely excited. Ever since she took it over, it gives that rejuvenation of Microsoft, and I'm actually happy about what's coming up for Microsoft. And not only that though, shout out to Nate to hate. I don't know him personally, we don't know him personally, but he basically, came out to let everybody know that this coming week they're going to have an Xbox type of showcase, and I'm actually happy about that, man. They're showcasing a lot more games and stuff like that in that sense. So I'm thinking that's a good look. We need these showcases, but it also makes me think about, man, we need an E3 again. We need a E3. We need some type of nostalgia that bring people more like us as gamers together in this time that's going on. You know what I'm saying? We need like an E3, like G4 TV needs to come back and come back right or something. If it makes that, it feels that nostalgia vibe when you hear these showcases is coming back. You feel what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Man, I'm just it's feeling good again to be a gamer, but at the same time, gaming as a whole is expensive as hell. And Xbox is doing this due diligence. Shout out to Asha, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to Phil Spencer and Sarah Bonds, what I feel with them, and I know I'm doing a lot of talking today. I'm sorry, but I got a lot to say, just like Sinister got a lot to say.
Yep.
Um, let's be real and let's speak the actual factual and rational. I think when it comes to Phil Spencer, Sarah Bonds, and the dude, I forgot the dude, Sinatara, whatever his name is.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
I feel like they've gotten too comfortable,
Hmm.
and after that, reality sunk in. One of the key things I think what Microsoft needs to do is reopen the Initiative Studio and reopen the studio that goes down behind Redfall.
Right.
Those are the top two studios I think they need to
Oh, you're
reopen.
talking about Arcane Studios?
Yeah, Arcane Studios in Austin that needs to reopen back up. And what other? I just said it though. Oh yeah, the Initiative. I think they need to reopen that studio.
Exactly.
That's the top two things. One of the key things I think they need to do. Excuse me, but I don't know. Fan feedback is going to help, and hopefully, and I'm always say this. Um, you never know who's listening. And, Microsoft been checking us out, and Sony been checking us out, Nintendo been checking us out. So if Microsoft listening, please take heed of what we're saying. Be more competitive from this point forward. Make your exclusives on the Xbox Game Studio side exclusive. Let Activision Blizzard King and Bethesda make those multi-platform games, but let Xbox Game Studio games be exclusive only. Any final thoughts, Sinister?
No, don't have any.
Okay. So speaking of Microsoft, this is a topic also added about Pete Hines. Okay,
All right.
so Pete Hines, it basically said this, and I'm pulling it up right now about what Pete Hines said, and It drawn a lot of attention to himself about him leaving Bethesda. All right, so since I need your thoughts on what I'm about to say.
Okay.
So Pete Hines basically said he left Bethesda because it was getting damaged, mistreated, and abused. And he said my mental health was so um, deplorable. And I'm gonna just read this out. He said, under Microsoft, Pete Hunt said that Bethesda Game Studios is not authentic and it's not genuine. Following that with a bold statement, and that should be a surprise to you. So, in your opinion, Sinister, what are your thoughts about that?
I mean, it's unfortunate. Like like you see a lot of things go on behind the scenes of these studios. Like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times, you see a lot of the workers get either one overworked or two never underappreciated or underpaid. I mean, that's why you're seeing a lot of lawsuits. Or look at Ubisoft. Like people are going on strike because, like, hey, they're not getting paid. All these layoffs. I mean, that's all kind of things going on behind the scene. But on the Bethesda side, yeah, because I mean, you don't know what's going on behind it, but this is from his perspective of what's going on, like especially his mental health. It goes to show what's going. I mean, how the company is running behind there. Like, if someone's like saying they're coming out and say, "Hey, it's affecting my mental health," it's like that's not a good look. And so, like, I think this need to be a better work environment behind the scenes, so that way, hey, that way I mean, whatever they're creating will come out right instead of being rushed. But you know how it is, like especially like the people at the top, the suits at the top, they're expecting, hey, we want this game out, blah blah blah, so we can get that money. Because I mean, like I said, the people with the suits at the top, their only game is how much money can we bring in, and blah blah
Mm-hmm.
blah. But they don't even times they don't even care about how the game, the quality and stuff like that. But that's how some of them are. But I'm sure not all of them are like that. But like I said, they want to see the money. That's the game that they like to play. The end games, like hey, the income games. That's what they want to say. But uh, however, I mean, it's unfortunate like this guy had to leave. He left Bethesda, but I'm sure he'll probably surely when he recovers mentally and everything, that he'll probably find work elsewhere or probably do his own thing. I mean, who knows? But that's just my take on that.
I'm gonna be real because it's a double-edged sword about the situation, and I was reading more into the article about what was said into the interview, and then heard some of the interview. I felt like Pete Hines, to me, he had more favoritism towards PlayStation.
Mm-mm.
Okay, and I'm gonna explain why. He was criticizing exclusivity and stuff like that when it comes to Starfield, but he wasn't like that when it comes to Deathloop, for example, right?
Right.
Because if y'all don't know, Deathloop was a PlayStation exclusive in the beginning, and he was all for it. But you criticizing Microsoft when it comes to Starfield. So I don't knock nobody for mental health because mental health is a serious thing.
Yeah.
But you using that as far as going towards a console war thing, that's not a good look. So in a sense, it's a double-edged sword situation. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't, like I said, I don't knock nobody that's dealing with mental health. We all have dealt with something of sorts of depression or something like that in our lifetime.
Right.
You dig? So I'm not knocking that. I'm just knocking the fact that you was all for it when it comes to Deathloop being exclusive to PlayStation, and you wasn't knocking that. But when it comes to Starfield being at the time an Xbox exclusive, you criticize that. That don't make any sense to me.
No.
There's logics behind what he was saying that didn't make any sense to me, and I didn't agree with 100%. You dig what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I think what P Hines have to do is come out and really kind of clarify some things, because if not, he's going to be looked at as a PlayStation fanboy, in a sense.
Oh
Eh,
yeah. Yeah. YouTube goes like there's gonna be feeding somebody like channel.
exactly. And as a gamer, you know what I'm saying, it's not a good look. You dig what I'm saying? It's not a good look. So they gotta, Hines gotta come correct and clarify things to better the situation. Because if not, he's like I said, he's going to be looked at as a PlayStation fanboy, and it's not going to be a good look for him at all. You hear me? That's just figurative facts, no fiction. So anywho, Sinister man. Okay, you know the Triple I initiative event came out last
Yeah.
week, right?
Yep.
And I watched it. And people know, if y'all haven't seen the stream is still up to this day. I've streamed it solo dolo. You know what I'm saying? I know Sinister he had things he had to go do. You feel what I'm saying?
Hmm.
All right. So from my standpoint on the overall Triple I initiative event, I have to give that a 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5, Sinister. You want to know why?
Why?
For one, our gamer section summer indie game showcase is going to be way better than that. June 22nd, y'all check that out. For one, two, we'll have better games than what we were seeing, and three, and no disrespect to the people that put that together, but the games that they showed, it was mainly catered towards PC people, but at the same time, it was like underwhelming games. It wasn't games that was gonna be like, oh my gosh, I want to play this day one. There was like only 4 games that I saw that I was like that had like sparked my interest, and the other games that I've seen, I don't want to play at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and name these 4 games right now, so we can get this out the way right now. You feel me? So the first game I saw was uh Alcahest. I mean, I'm probably butchering the word. Al-
Alcahest. Yeah, you said Alcahest.
yeah, Alcahest. That's the one game that I saw that really sparked my interest. Number 2 was Castlevania's Beaumont Curse. That's another one that sparked my interest. You dig? Number 3 is I was thick as thieves, but until I found that it was a PvPvE, I'm good. Okay, I'm very very good. I'm so good. I'm cooler than a fan. Good. Another game that really caught my attention was Death as Disco. All
Oh
right.
yeah, definitely that.
Oh yeah. All right. And last but not least, that really like caught my attention was Valor Mortis. That was another game that really caught my attention. Other than that, all these other games that they actually showed, I don't have any interest in, man. It's just like, and this is my honest like perspective of it. If you're gonna do a showcase, you feel me? Do something that's gonna be worthwhile. That's gonna like have people to wanting to play these games. You know what I'm saying? Like the future game showcase has been decent. The when it comes to Summer Games Fest with Jeff Keighley and the Video Game Awards, it's starting to become very underwhelming of
Right.
sorts. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just honestly gaming like some of these games. I feel like there's no originality no more. I feel like it's always about cash grab with some of these games. And I'm not knocking the indie developers, but I feel like we need more of a variety of games that I feel like that devs should take more risk in. You feel what I'm saying?
Uh huh.
Because the style of games that I've seen from this showcase was Souls like, role like, and survival like. And what I mean by survival, like if y'all seen Vampire Survivors, then y'all know what I mean.
Right.
And they did that with Warhammer with the survival like game, and I'm like, come on, bro. It's like, let's see some more originality. Let's see y'all take more risk. Let me see y'all being more creative with games. But it seems like to me, a lot of developers nowadays, and I'm not knocking every developer, the developers that I've seen that's making these style games are very creative, bankrupt, and looking to get a quick buck on these games. And it's going to get to the point where it's going to phase out, just like these free to play games in the sense of Fortnite and Apex Legends. You could tell they kind of phasing out in a sense.
Yep.
But what are your thoughts about this? I'm gonna stop talking. The floor is yours, bro.
Yeah, I was able to catch the recap of the Triple I event. I mean, some of the games I was like, I'm good on, but like I said, that Death is Disco that was definitely high on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Castlevania Belmont's Curse. Of course, we saw that at one of the previous showcase. The PlayStation showcase, we saw that,
Mm-hmm.
and there was another one. It was that Castle game. There was another one of that. it was canceled some, but it'll hit me up later. But anyways, that kind of game. As far as like some of the other ones, like I'm okay on that battle golf games. Like I mean, that's something that you could probably play on the road. Like I know it's like the Switch is one of the platforms it's on, but that I mean to me, I think that's a handheld game more than you could play it at home. But as far as like the event goes, I mean it was all right. I mean, wasn't expecting much, be overhyped or anything. But like I said, they showed some cool games that I'm really interested in. But the rest, like, yeah, I'm good on that. I'm not knocking it for putting it up because I mean I'm sure it's gonna catch that audience that it's looking for,
Mhm.
but I'm not one of them. But yeah, I'm cool with it. Some of them like, hey, look, we need more variety out here because yeah, we don't need to see no more repetition because
Mhm.
once they catch on to it, people are not gonna watch it at all, or probably not play those games they're interested in, at all. But unless they, like I said, they got to start taking a risk and thinking outside the box, get out of that comfort zone.
And that's what I feel. I feel like now, bro, it's just like we seeing more and more games, like even from the indie developer side. I'm starting to see more and more games are becoming the same style of games. Like
Mm.
what I've noticed this generation, we've seen a lack of first person shooters, third person shooters, hack and slash games, adventure games, platformers. All we've been seeing mostly is roguelike, souls like, Metrovanias, and survivor like games
Right.
and cozy like games. And I'm just saying that there is no originality, and I'm starting to notice that not all developers, but some developers are very creatively bankrupt. That's why when we look for developers to showcase their games, we look for developers that's willing to take risk, that's willing to like showcase a game that will have people like, wow, I want to play that game day one. Unlike a game that's like, oh my god, man, it's the same type of game, and it's another Souls like game, it's another rogue like game. You dig what I'm saying?
You're right.
So that's the type of developers we look for when it comes to doing our own showcase, and that's the type of developer, like type of games we want to play. We want to play games that where developers take risks. We want games that have that Bioshock feel again, because we haven't had a Bioshock game since the 360.
Oh yeah, since like Infinite, I think that was the last one.
Exactly, and that game like that might be delayed to 2027, and then Judas. You know what I'm saying? They had another game that was kind of different called Afterlife,
Hmm.
um where you playing as this young girl and going through some stuff, and it had this little futuristic apocalypse type of vibe, and it seemed interesting. We dig. But and I'm just giving y'all some of the games that of ideas of games that we have interest in, you know what I'm saying? But we just the triple I event was to me was weak. I gave it a 2 out of 5. But what did you give it, Sinister?
I give it a 3 because like some of the games that they showed that I'm highly interested, but the rest was like, yeah, it was all right.
Now I feel that. I feel that. That's figurative fashion and fiction. I feel you on that. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the next topic. You feel me? It's gonna be brief. It's about the Super Mario Galaxy movie franchise making history with the second $350 million debut. And I'll just speak briefly on it. Congratulations to Nintendo for putting out another movie. I haven't seen it yet. I will see it soon. Um, but I think it's a good look that video game movies is actually starting to be on the rise in that sense. And Super Mario Galaxy movie was actually a good look. From what I heard some mixed things about the movie, but I have to see it for myself to really like give my
Right.
own thoughts on it. But what about you, Sinister?
I mean, I like to see it for myself just to get my 2 cents on it. Like as far as like the reviews and the critics, I ignore them because I like to I like to go with my perspective, like a fresh perspective and no outside influence. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like I said, congrats to Nintendo and Illumination, Entertainment, those who worked on the movie. He's like, hey, I mean that's 2 for 2. Like they did the first movie that did great at the office, and then this one did great at the box office. I mean here like in the states, oh well, let's just say North America, then internationally these do even better. So yeah,
Facts,
definitely congrats to them.
facts,
I
facts, facts.
mean that's definitely want see my daughter because she's she loves the Mario characters.
Oh yeah, facts, facts. So let's go talk about Saros, right?
Uh-huh.
So Saros has an update that lets you turn most of the permanent unlocks for extra challenge. Personally, for me, I'm going to keep the unlocks on, the permanent unlocks on, because I don't feel like raging. For one, well, I don't really, but in actuality, I don't really rage like that on video games, but I just don't feel like going through the hassle of doing all like that, doing all that stuff. It's permanent unlocks, and I get to keep everything. I'm all for it. If you want an extra challenge, cool. I don't way anybody's gonna ever make me do that if they put money on the line for me to do that. You hear me?
Uh-huh.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, I'm gonna keep the permanent unlocks going and I'm gonna outplay the game. Hopefully, if Sony gets back to us about, a review code for the game, because Sony is very, very busy and they show a lot of favoritism. You know what I'm saying? It's just the facts. Um, but we'll see, man. What are your thoughts about all that?
Nah, I'm keeping those unlocks on. It's like, I mean, yeah, I'm not knocking those who want an extra challenge. That's cool and all, but for me, no, I ain't trying to raise my blood pressure for that. And so, no, I'm good. If there's somehow that powerful weapon that's gonna help me out later on, no, I'm keeping that bad boy on lock. I don't feel like grinding for it again.
Nah, facts, man. Just like Returnal, it's a great game, but once
Right,
you like become unalived in the game, you have to start all the way from square one again. You feel me? And you lost pretty much everything. Like let's
right.
see that. Yeah,
It's cool done by the same studio behind Returnal, but I think they took another step up. I guess they might have got feedback. It's like all the players is like, yeah, I guess everybody got tired of dying and losing like their hard-earned weapons and have to regrind for it, you know?
nah, facts. I remember, seeing some people on YouTube playing it, like walkthroughs and stuff like that, playing it online. I never seen that many people rage up a whole nother storm when it comes to Returnal. Like me, I played a good bit of it. I didn't rage not one time about it, but I'm like, that game is rageable. You definitely can rage. If you don't have fast reflexes within the gameplay itself, you are definitely gonna be raging in the highest caliber, bro. It's figgity facts, no fiction.
Right. It's like for those like especially like those who are parents and stuff like that, yeah, either play it in your man cave where your kids are not around, but please don't do it with your kids around if you got a rage and stuff like that. Like, please don't.
Exactly.
It's not
And
that serious.
exactly, and that's not a good look. That's a travesty. Like those type of games, though, bro. It goes to show that you really gotta. It's time consuming for one, and two, you really gotta have super fast reflexes, like I said earlier. And three, you really gotta have muscle memory on what you've seen or what you found. Because if you don't have that, you definitely will get mollywopped in that game.
Yeah.
That's real fast. Mm-hmm. Figgity facts, no fiction. But speaking about muscle memory and fast cars, let's talk about Forza Horizon 6 development. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So everybody knows that Turn 10 Studios is a supportive studio for right now. But personally for me, I think they're gonna come back with another Forza Motorsport down the road. So that's
Right.
gonna happen. That's obviously it's gonna happen. But they basically was talking about the lessons that they learned from the motorsport series that actually didn't do that well, because I don't know what it was with Forza Motorsport. I played a good bit of Forza Motorsport, and what I didn't like about it is they made you practice the laps before you can get into the races. And I just want to get to the races because you could practice it, but I want to play the races straight up, man. You did,
Same here.
yeah.
Yeah, I was disappointed with this one. I was like, as far as like the motorsport, yeah, because all right, to anybody out there, Playground Games, they're the ones in charge of the Horizon series. Of course, you got
Mhm,
the upcoming one next month.
mhm.
Turn does the motorsport series, like the more simulation, like realistic stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was disappointed with this one, but I mean, it's not that bad, but it's not great in some areas. So hopefully they take the lessons like they learned from this past mistake and improve upon it and make it even better like the next go around.
Yeah, like what I want to see is, it takes place in Japan, so they're doing a lot of drifting. Japan known for being a drifting type of formula when it comes to cars.
Yeah.
So hopefully they do the drifting justice, because if it plays stiff like Horizon 5 and before then yeah, I heard good things about it, but I want to see if you can drift like it was Need for Speed in that sense. You feel me?
Hmm.
Speaking of Need for Speed, EA, side note, y'all need to go ahead and bring Need for Speed back. We need that. We need an Underground 3.
Yes.
or Unbound 2. We don't need no High Pursuit remake or anything like that. We need an Underground 3 or Unbound 2. Okay?
Mhm.
We need that back. Okay? Any other racing game that's in that arcade style, we need an underground style game. That's figure facts, no fiction. And EA needs to do the right thing because EA now has become more of. I want to talk about this too, man. Let's talk about this briefly.
Go ahead.
I need your thoughts about this, man. How do you feel about EA games at this point?
They're a shell of themselves because a lot of times they were really full of it. Like you could think about it, they held the title is the worst publisher for years. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all right, let's talk about it. Ever since they got crushed, when ESPN 2K5 came out,
Mm-hmm.
they figured it's hurting their sales with Madden.
Mm-hmm.
Now Madden that game that year it wasn't bad, but however, I think after that, instead of like really competing, they went in there and did a sucker move by buying the NFL license.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, like Madden here on out, it's been going downhill. It's been going downhill ever since they got the license.
Yeah.
And I wish like somebody out there will go get, the NFL needs to say, hey, spread that license around. Because think about it, you have it tied up with one company. It's like, I mean, you're getting some on your return, but not the most out of your return on investment.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you spread it like to 2K or Konami, just to name a couple, that way you can spread all that out. But however, outside of that, you thought Microsoft and Sony love shutting down studios. EA wrote the playbook on shutting down studios. They have a whole graveyard that make an Undertaker jealous of all the studios that they buried in their backyard.
That's true.
I mean, think about it. Like, Visceral Games. I mean, the people who did the Death Space series, Mercenaries, just to name a few. I mean, that studio was great. I mean, the only thing, BioWare, even though BioWare is still up and running, but the co-founders, ever since they left, BioWare went downhill too. I mean, because they had games like Jade Empire, like the earlier Mass Effect games, those are great. But outside of that, it's down. It's been downhill ever since. Like, but to me, it's like, especially to those who are in charge of EA, all they care is about the money. And like, another thing I want to throw up there, the whole Battlefront 2 with the transactions. There's a reason why some of those countries out there had to put laws on that, but because they see it as gambling and they're trying to entice children like to spend their mommy and daddy's money,
Yeah.
just a form of gambling. So that's why they had to step up and said no, with these microtransactions and things like that. But EA as a publisher, it's like I enjoyed it. During the earlier days, like when it was much cooler than when Trip Hawkins was running it. It was cool under that, but ever since then, ever since he left, and then the moment about the NFL license, the Madden, that's been going downhill. But I'm happy for FIFA breaking away from EA, even though they got their own sorry at FC Club. But now that FIFA is free from them, like sooner or later, is his Madden gonna get the NFL gonna break that license from Madden away? You don't know, but that's their cash cow right there.
Well, look at it like this, because from what I do know, the a license agreement is up after this Madden that comes out this year. So the question is the NFL going to start letting other people start using the license of the NFL, or are they going to continue to stick with Madden? Because if you look at what's going on with Madden, Madden has been more on the decline of these recent years of sales and stuff like that. And believe me, I'm gonna be honest with you. Shout out to EA. They be giving us codes to the games and stuff like that for Madden and FIFA and all this other stuff, right? But we're not trying to dog out EA. This is just the fact of the nature of what I'm trying to say.
Right.
EA is definitely a shell of its former self, because EA has become more of a sports publisher than an actual gaming publisher. Okay, so let me go ahead and give you examples of what games that are actually missing an action that has potential to be successful. They could have been potentially to be successful, but they don't want to do that or utilize it. All right. So if y'all remember games like the Saboteur, right? Yeah, and people don't know about that game. It was like a blend of Grand Theft Auto and Assassin's Creed, and majority of the time you're playing the game in black and white. But when you unlock a section, a liberated section, it'll show color there. That game was a phenomenal game to me. I enjoyed that game. You dig? SSX. SSX Tricky SSX3 was the
Yes.
best SSX games that ever came out.
Hmm.
The reboot was okay, wasn't the best at all. Def Jam Fight for New York.
Best of all
M-
time.
yep. NBA Street, NFL Street.
Hmm.
That's
Like
been
FIFA Street.
FIFA Street. All of them fell by the wayside, and now we got NBA The Run, which I'm looking forward to that game. It's coming out this year, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna be playing the heck out that game when it releases. All right, let's go ahead and uh, put up another game called The Syndicate. I don't know if y'all remember the game The Syndicate. EA remade the game into a first-person shooter, and that was on the 360 and PS3. And that game, people criticized the game, but I thought the game was fun. I had fun with that game, and that came out before I even got on YouTube on the gaming side. Now, what I'm trying to say is when it comes to EA had a wide variety of games outside of the sports titles we know about. EA has become more of a sports centric publisher company. What needs to happen right now for EA is one, if they want to continue to do sports, bring back NBA Live because 2K needs some competition.
Hmm.
Madden needs competition. College football need competition. Because after a while, college football going to end up becoming stale after a while. You did Fight Night needs to have competition. Oh yeah, we got a new subscriber. Shout out to the new sub.
All right, cool. Thank you.
But appreciate that. But what I'm trying to say, and this is just the fact of the nature, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. This is the truth. EA needs to do better, be better, and get better. We got a new game coming from Respawn with a brand new a Star Wars Jedi 3 game. Look forward to that.
Hmm.
We need a Titanfall 3.
Right.
We need a better Star Wars game. We there's a lot of things that EA can do to be better as a whole company, but I feel like they're scared to take risks. They could have did more with Dead Space. They could have like that remake. They could have remade Dead Space 2 and 3, create Dead Space 4, but they don't want to do that because they're cheapskates, and it's unfortunate that I have to say that. Okay, I'm disappointed with EA. I'm disappointed with Ubisoft or what they say Ubisoft. I don't know. I like to say Ubisoft. I don't like to say Ubisoft. That's just me. I'm disappointed with a lot of these AAA publishers nowadays because the gaming space is they become more money hungry, and what I say about any developers, they're more on the point of taking risk, and that's what I'm gonna get back to EA about.
Hmm.
EA needs to go ahead and take more risk. Let BioWare create a game that's worthwhile. Let them bring back Anthem and make it more into a single player style game instead of what they was trying to do before. Like dudes, they gotta change the narrative of them becoming the better publisher instead of becoming the worst publisher year on year out. That's just my facts on that. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I really gotta say about it, man. Before we move on to the next topic, are you ready to move on to the next topic, Sinister?
Yep. Let's roll.
All right, let's rock and roll. All right, so PlayStation Insider estimates how much it'll cost Sony to manufacture a PlayStation 6. Wow, PlayStation 6.
Hmm.
We already talking about the next Xbox and PlayStation 6. Before we even dive into, I'm gonna just say this: I'm not looking forward to the next PlayStation. I'm not looking forward to the next Xbox. I feel like we just starting to get our feet wet with these consoles, and we just starting to see these machines materialize their maximum capabilities, and they're already coming out with a Project Helix and PlayStation 6. We don't need that right now. I say wait till 2030 to do that
Right.
because the pandemic really killed the momentum in the beginning stages of the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. That's just me. But anywho, PlayStation Insider estimates how much it'll cost Sony to manufacture a PS6. And I'm hearing that the PlayStation 6 might be between 900 to $800 to $900. Okay,
That's
look,
surprising.
yeah, look, we're in inflation. We have Agent Orange as a president, and he is, all, I don't really care about, politics. I don't care about any of it because I feel like both sides are bad. But
Right.
when you look at Agent Orange, aka Orange Face, aka Trump, he makes Richard Nixon look like a saint, and I wasn't even born then.
Neither was I.
Exactly. We're in a day and age that everything has gotten high. When it comes to gaming, it has become more expensive. For
Way more
them,
expensive.
exactly. And they want to charge an arm and a leg for their consoles. I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna be like a fortune teller, right? I'm gonna predict this, right? I guarantee you, the next Xbox and the next PlayStation, and possibly the Nintendo Switch 2 down the road, is not going to sell as well as people think. And if they don't at least have the price between $400 to $600 for their consoles, they're definitely going to not sell. I can see PlayStation 6 not selling as well as people thought. I don't see Project Helix selling well as people thought. And the game's gonna be phenomenal on either side when they're exclusive, situation. If I were Microsoft and Sony, put their consoles between $400 to $600 to sell. You dig? Keep the games itself at $70 and don't bump it up to $80. Because we're in a day and age that people don't have money like they supposed to, and we're in a massive inflation right now. There is an unnecessary Epstein war that's going on. Let me go ahead and say this, and I don't know if you agree with me on this, Sinister. They have an unnecessary war that is going on based off of a lie that
Hmm.
Agent Orange be saying,
Yep.
and people know who I'm talking about.
Hmm.
So we have we have the worst president ever, the worst um team over there with Agent Orange, and people are brainwashed to really see what's going on because they think, oh no, we're doing everything for the country. No, if that was the case, the gas prices wouldn't be as high, the food
Exactly.
prices wouldn't be as high, the games wouldn't be as high. That what's killing the games right now is the RAM and AI. AI and ramming is killing what's going on with the cost of gaming right now. And the PlayStation 6, I know it's going to be a phenomenal console. I know the Xbox, the Project Heat is going to be a phenomenal console too. But them going high as hell with their prices, high as hell with their games, it's not a good look. Sinister, what you thoughts about that, man?
I mean, I agree with you. Like with the PS6 and the Project Helix, like I mean, I'm sure that hopefully they'll do well once they drop. But however, the issue on that is the price. I would say, like, yeah, if they're predicting like $800, $900, like that's like price for PC territory.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, just getting to the session with the AI and the RAM is like, since they all ramped up all those data centers, getting all the AI and with the RAM, excuse me, with the RAM and the SSD.
Yeah.
I was like, you make it harder for everybody, like especially those who in the PC like to build their PCs from the ground up. I was like, now they can't even afford it because like the RAM. I mean, you'd be good luck finding the RAM. Even
Mm-hmm.
if you do, it's way out of your price range. It's way out of your means. It's like you're making it harder for everybody. And now the
Definitely.
big three, since they use it, now they want to, up the price so that charge an arm and leg so that they can get their hands on that RAM and SSD that they need and all that. So I say, yeah, it's gonna hurt everybody. But um, truth be told, I mean, yeah, everything out here right now, like the economy's not getting any better. Everything's still sky high. Gas,
Mm-hmm.
food, clothing, home. I mean, it's like, I mean, here's a scenario. Would you spend money on a brand new console that's coming out probably in a few years away, or would you, spend your money on the important things like food, gas, roof over your head, clothes on your backs, supporting your families out there. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but just yeah, like the way like our current administration is going on, like is I mean, like I said, the Cheeto man, he likes to lie his way out of a paper bag, but of course not to dive too much into politics. But
Yeah,
I mean, with the tariffs, I mean the tariffs did not make anything better because
no.
like think about it, most of that stuff comes from what China.
Matter of fact, question: what's going on with that tariff check, man? I'm still wondering about that tariff check to this day. I think it was a lie, but I'll just say this, man, because I don't want to speak on politics too much no more on this. You know what I'm saying? Because this is not the podcast for that. We don't speak on politics on this podcast.
Right.
Only thing I could actually say in that sense of the whole ordeal when it comes to what's going on with PlayStation, what's going on with Xbox, what's going on with Nintendo, because they're saying that Nintendo might be going up with their consoles as well
Yep.
because of these tariffs and all this bull crap.
Yeah, Nintendo sued them.
Yeah, Nintendo sued them, but like I just say, man, we have a crooked president that's really out for himself and lies to everybody, and people really be brainwashed to really see. You know what I'm saying? Are really brainwashed, man. We got a liar as a president. All he does is lie, 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 and don't have any concrete evidence to back up his claims. For one, two, when it comes to PlayStation, back on the game, we're not talking about president that Agent Orange no more than like that. We sticking back to the games. We apologize. We're back to the games. All right. Anyway, when it comes to PlayStation, uh, like I said, they got to do the right thing, man. Like, be more consumer friendly. Don't be anti-consumerist when it comes to the pricing of the manufacturer of the PlayStation 6, the console itself, the games and stuff like that. PSN, which they actually have about to shut down with the PSN title and change up the name and stuff like that. They're gonna have to really like make the actual changes to continue on to make PlayStation a success. Because Sony right now they're going through a little debacle, especially with Bungie right now. Bungie, everybody's saying when it comes to Sony that Bungie was the worst acquisition that they ever made, and Marathon is not even doing well.
Nope.
And I played Marathon the beta, and that beta was terrible. That beta was buns. It wasn't good at all. But
Unfortunately.
yeah, but Marathon should have had a single player mode, you know what I'm saying? But or PVE mode, but instead it's PvP. That's why it felt the way it felt, and it was bare bones. So let's talk about multiplayer aspects of PlayStation. Let's talk about the Last of Us multiplayer game, right?
All right.
So the Last of Us multiplayer game, Factions 2 was like 80% done before it was canceled. Okay, it was 80% done. And that multiplayer side should have been attached to the Last of Us Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
So them being they canceled the game didn't make any sense. You would have actually had a good multiplayer game outside of Helldivers 2. And the Last of Us Factions on the original PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, a lot of people played the multiplayer side of the game, and it wasn't hard; it was easy to get through, and people played the heck out of it. I played it a few times myself. Um, Honestly, I think that's a bad look for Sony, man. To cancel that game, if it's 80% complete, why would you cancel something that was close to being finished? That don't make any sense. That there was no logics behind the blasphemous of that bullcrap. So Sinister, like, what are your thoughts about that?
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, you could have put in the effort just to complete the rest of the 20% just to complete the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then out of nowhere, decided, oh, cancel. It's like, was it a Neil Druckmann decision or was it someone from higher up that decided, like, hey, kill this project? It's like, hey, this is not the focus. I mean,
Yeah.
like, either way, it wasn't a good look,
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like, the Last of Us universe, I would continue to praise it. The first game, phenomenal. It did it did great with the story. It had the better out of the two, it had the better story. I
You
mean,
talking about
graphically,
you talking about the Last of Us Part 1?
yeah, the first one.
Oh yeah, it did have a great story. Last of Us
Yeah,
Part 2
like
story was
story
trash.
wise, I mean, yeah, it's the first one all day. Gameplay wise, I give it to the second game, but that's about it. Outside of the outside of the gameplay, the rest of the part two was trash to me. But anyways, Well, the multiplayer, I'm sure some of those who love both games, they were looking forward to it, but to come out like this, yeah, it seems like they have to hold that L, for that, come up
Yeah,
with a BS decision like that. It's like I don't know whose idea, who came up with that decision. Hold that L.
yeah, that was a terrible decision for them to do that, and it goes to show that when it comes to Sony and their decision making, when it comes to making most of their games, uh, live service games was a bad look because they wanted to compete on the levels of Microsoft when it comes to their multiplayer style games, what they make with some of their games, and actually it does well. And what people don't know is like with Helldivers 2, and I come to realization that Helldivers 2 sold more on the PlayStation than it did, sold more on the Xbox than it did on PlayStation. I'm sorry. But it was number one on Steam. It was number one on Steam, number two on Xbox, and number three on PlayStation. And it goes to show that anybody that plays PlayStation games, they play for the single player aspect of it and not multiplayer. Microsoft is
That's
a
true.
balance of both. People play multiplayer games, other people play single player games. Personally, for me, I'm a single player connoisseur. That means I play more single player games than I do multiplayer games. Only time I play a multiplayer game is a fighting game, which, might add, I'm a beast in fighting games. Hey, I can't say no more. Hey, Sinister can vouch for me. I'm a beast in fighting games.
They
Fighting
telling
games,
the
my
truth.
yeah, my fighting games is my forte. I be doing some working on some fighting games. People that ask about me on that Tekken 8, I be beasting on. Picture me going on about a 30 game win streak and I ain't lose not one time and I got bored and just got off the Xbox. But I just say this though, and this is me, man. All right, I'm excited for what Sony and Microsoft has in store, but more so for Microsoft than Sony. Sony has to make a drastic turnaround and go back to what made them credible for what they did and what made them successful for the PlayStation 4. And that's going back to the single player aspect of their games. Like, go back, if y'all want to do some multiplayer or live service oriented, bring back SOCOM because SOCOM is perfect for the live service style game. You know what I'm saying? Um, when it comes to, Sinister, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, make sure I don't want to. We don't want to try to have no technical difficulties.
No, no, we're good.
All right, so like I said, the perfect live service game that would suit Sony is SOCOM in a sense. Give it single player side, but also give it multiplayer side. All right. Uh, if they want to bring back games, I can name 5 games outside of SOCOM off the top of their hands right now. I do like this. Number 5, SOCOM. Number
Uh-huh.
4, Killzone. Number
Yes.
3, Jack and Dexter.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Infamous.
Yep.
Number 1, I say Resistance. You feel me?
Yes. Definitely
Honor,
those.
exactly. Honorable mentions. Sly Cooper.
Uh-huh.
You dig? What else? I'm trying to think. Twisted Metal. You feel
Oh
me?
yes, definitely. If it plays like Twisted Metal Black and Twisted Metal 2, yes, I'm for it.
Yeah, and those games suck.
You suck if you hate on those two.
No, those games is trash. No, I'm just playing. Them games not trash. They was phenomenal games back in the day. But yo, I'm telling you, bro, I'm gonna get some heat for that. Oh yeah, then another thing, Ape Escape, man. Everybody in their mind love Ape Escape. Ape Escape was a phenomenal game back on the PlayStation 1 and 2 days too, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, man. Sony got a lot of franchises they can bring back, but I feel like they don't want to do that. Like they really want to bank on live service games, and that's not the way to go. Live service games has been on a massive decline lately. People are not wasting their money on live service games like they once did.
No, what
Like,
like microtransactions? Just to pay for cosmetics? No
yeah,
thanks.
yeah. In facts, and thing about it is, it's been on a decline for years. Like I say, between the reason why it was on the rise around 2020 is because it was because of the pandemic. Well, the
Yep.
pandemic, my fault. The pandemic was the reason why the live service games was on a high. But ever since then, live service games has been on the decline ever since. Like, let me ask you this: when the last
Mhm.
time you heard anybody talking about playing Rocket League or playing
Apex
Fortnite
Legends.
or
Uh-huh.
Apex Legends? When the last time you actually heard people playing those games or talking about those games?
Not much.
Exactly. And I was looking on my Xbox through the free to play models. You don't really hear people talking about a lot of these games. You feel what I'm saying? And you don't hear
Mhm.
people like playing them games like once was. So when you look at live service games, it's been on a decline. You dig? What Sony needs to do, like, okay, if you look at Uncharted and you look at the next Last of Us, if they do another Last of Us, implement a multiplayer side to each of the modes. Like implement the multiplayer side on The Last of Us or the next Uncharted game. You feel me?
Mhm.
And keep the single player side because people can have the best of both worlds. Because look what they're doing with Gears of War E Day. You'll have a single player and you'll have multiplayer, and people are gonna be playing both. You dig? Oh yeah. And side note, nobody want to see me on that Gears of War needs. I'm a beast in that multiplayer as well. But anyways, anywho, let's talk about Simpson.
All right.
So, Samsung devs promises fixes and becoming after becoming one of 2026's worst reviewed game. Since you played some of the Simpson, and I did as well. Go ahead and speak your piece. What are your thoughts about it?
All right. Like, I mean, when it comes to the story, it was okay, but presentation wise, I mean, I dig like the cutscenes. Like, it has like a comic book, like a motion comic, kind of vibe about it.
Hmm.
The character models, got some detail to it, but as far as like, once you start playing, in the beginning of it, like soon as I move my character around, I notice like frame drops. That's like
Hmm.
running around even before I started fighting anybody.
Yeah.
Same thing with driving. I was like, man, what is this mess? Then a couple of times it crashed on me,
Hmm.
and so now I had to change my settings around so I was able to play it smoothly, but still I had some hiccups. Even when I last time I played it, it was after the first patch.
Yeah.
It played a little bit better, but not by much. I mean, I still like driving around. I still noticed the frame drops here and there, but still like I mean, that's the only thing I noticed. Oh, and another thing, I was able to test it out on a handheld. Wasn't so great either. It chugged so much on there. Like I mean, like I said, like I was telling Kano, like the first time I played it, it was like the chugginess. It just reminded me of that Starship Troopers game that I played a while back. I mean, it was a travesty. But
Yeah.
however, in this defense, I mean a little bit. However, Samsung gets the edge because it plays a little bit better than that Starship Trooper game I reviewed a long time ago. But
Mhm.
that's all I'm about to say on it.
Now I feel that. I feel that. But you also got to remember it's Liquid Sword's first game that they put together. So I'm gonna give them a benefit of the doubt because I feel like they was trying to get it out there so they could try to make a little bit of their money back. But that game needed more time in the oven. If I felt half baked in a sense. Like
Mm-hmm.
last matter of fact, last night I tried to get back on it because like everybody in their mind playing the game right now, but I'm way over halfway done with that game. That game, it's not a long game, it's pretty short. It's not that short, but it's short. You feel what I'm saying? But the only thing I can say about the game is very repetitive. The map is very small, um, and the gameplay needs some tweaks to make it better. You dig? So it definitely still needs that time to really adjust. It still needs patches, but I reviewed it. I gave the score that it scored. It's saying it's the worst review game right now, but I definitely seeing it improve later on down the road. And then not only that, it's coming to consoles later on this year. So we reviewed the PC version. Let us review the console version. We'll give y'all a real estimate of how the game really is on the console side.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
You feel me? So that's what all I got to say about Samson, man. I see that it's there's potential there, and I feel like it will get better. Just right now, it's not in the best shape that it possibly can be, and
Mm-hmm.
there's times that I feel like it just you have to stop playing it until they patch it up. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to rush a game out if it's not ready.
No.
And I feel like Samsung. I feel like they needed to delay the game, at least put it out around late summer, early fall, like August. August would have been a better date to release the game, so they could give time to fix the bugs. Um, you know what I'm saying, and polish the game off a little bit more instead of releasing it how it was released. But it wasn't a bad bug. It wasn't a bad game when it comes to bugs, but you could definitely still see they had bugs and glitches, the frame rate issues and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And story wise is a good story. Mission wise, very repetitive to the max. Um, but you can tell it's their first game. You can see potential, but another thing is the driving mechanics is not the best driving mechanics. You have to
Especially like
really
avoid the cops.
exactly.
I mean, I never seen a game like you could get so ahead of the cops, but the cops would be right there. Like you figured like that thing will drain by now. It's like nope, they're right there. I was like, what the? It's like they pull Houdini on you.
Exactly, man. That's figurative facts, no fiction. Figurative facts, no fiction. But like I said, Sam, man, like Samsung has potential to be a good game. Like after they do all the updates, because if you look at like this, think about it. Cyberpunk 2077, when that game was first announced and when we first played it, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That game there was terrible when it was first released. And they did a few hot fixes, but the game was still terrible. And then it took about 5 to 6 major patches to fix the game to make it better. And then it became one of the best games ever, Cyberpunk
Right.
2077. So when it comes to Samsung, it's nowhere near how bad Cyberpunk was, but you could see potential of it getting better and better, and then it become a better rated game. You dig? But this was like one of the most anticipated games to come out this year, but it was a slight disappointment, and that's just real. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's just me speaking it. But let's go ahead and revert back to PlayStation, though, man. Let's go revert back to PlayStation. We're gonna talk about PlayStation again. We're gonna talk about the rumored Uncharted game to be in development. It's supposed to be Uncharted 5.
All
All
right.
right. So let me ask you this: like, what is it that you want to see in the next Uncharted game?
All right. Well, we know Nathan Drake's gonna be out of this one since he concluded his thing in the last one. But
Yeah.
I would say is the main character going to be his daughter? Is it going to be Chloe? Is it going to be Nadine? It's like who from the previous games is going to return? I'm sure the protagonist is going to be somebody new. The story. I mean, I definitely want to be interested. Who's going to be doing? What's the story going to be like this time?
Mhm.
What's that big massive treasure? The end goal and everything. Like who you going to interact with in the cutscenes?
Yeah.
So, um, that's all I can think of as of right now. Or whatever it is, like if I see some games, hopefully, like over the years, if everything's confirmed, I definitely want to see some gameplay or what's it going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All
that's
right.
just my take on it.
All right. I'll say it like this here. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm gonna keep it all the way a bean. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Um, two things I could say about this next Uncharted. It could be Nathan Drake's daughter. It can be that
Right.
she could be the main protagonist, or they could continue on with the Lost Legacy with the protagonist from that game.
Oh, you're talking
So
about Nadine and Chloe?
yeah, it could be either or. I prefer it being Nathan Drake's daughter,
Yeah.
or there's a third possibility that Nathan Drake will come out of retirement to do another adventure that's worthwhile. That's a possibility.
Or team up with her uncle Sam.
Possibility. Yeah, it's possible. So it's a lot of angles that could be attacked with this next Uncharted game. What I do want from the next Uncharted game to don't be like Uncharted 4 to have some super open ended areas like it's kind of open world. We don't need that.
Right.
What this next Uncharted game needs to be, they need to go back to Uncharted 2. You feel me? And you know what I'm saying? And create a game that's worthwhile in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep it real. There's another game that I've been playing the Uncharted series on the PS5 as well, the Nathan Drake collection.
Yeah.
But playing that game brings back a lot of nostalgia. You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And what I will actually want to see within Uncharted is I want to see a phenomenal gameplay, phenomenal shooting mechanics, a great storyline. Um, like I said, it don't have to be the most beautiful graphics in the world. I'm not worried about that. I just want a great gameplay, a great story.
Right. A good
You know what I'm
balance.
saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you can bring it up to the phenomenal, like how like 2.
yeah,
I mean, I think 2 is by majority of everybody's favorite. 2 and 4 are basically my favorite of the 4.
yeah. Four I like, but the only thing I didn't like about four was just too open ended, man. It's like
Yeah.
it was just too open out there. You feel me? And
Mhm.
I like collecting the treasures and stuff like that too, but it's just I'm gonna just say like this: here, the treasure part is cool finding, but you really have to YouTube it and Google where to find these treasures at because it really it'll be very hidden in plain sight. You dig what I'm saying? But
Right. Uh-huh.
let's keep it real, man. If they working on a new Uncharted game, because this is Naughty Dog is like the second project under that intergalactic game, and right now the hopes for the intergalactic game is very slim to none. Nobody's really like paying attention to it like that. You dig what I'm saying? Until we
Oh
see
yes.
gameplay. Until we see
Yes.
gameplay, intergalactic ain't nobody checking for it right now.
Hmm.
The next Uncharted game, people are more anticipated about it. I just want to see a good gameplay, good storyline. I'm hoping that it's most likely Nathan Drake's daughter being the protagonist, or Nathan Drake coming out of retirement because the or the DLC. Either of those three that'll be three either of those scenarios will play a great part in the game. Other than that, though, we got to see. These are all rumors. We don't know if it's confirmed or not. What we do know, there's more rumors. And I'm gonna speak on this before we move to the next subject. There's more rumors going around that Xbox has a mini showcase coming up this coming week on the 16th, and also Sony's supposed to have another state of play for third party games. We'll see. You did, and we'll see what's to it. But anywho, let's talk about this new Luigi's Mansion Switch 2 game that's been leaked out. So, Sinister, go ahead and speak your piece about it.
Oh yeah, because I have the last two on the OG Switch. I was like, man, I love those games. Like how it definitely plays different from the main Mario games.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Luigi, he's like more cowardly than his shorter big brother.
Oh yeah.
Mario's like all courageous and everything. But anywho, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this next Luigi Mansion. Oh, I have to mention this as an honorable mention, the arcade version.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody out there that goes to Dave and Buster's or any of these indoor amusement parks, you probably see that arcade game around. So, which is great and all. Like going around catching the ghost and see how timid he is up until he catches the ghost. That's when he starts, giving being more brave and all. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the next one. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Nintendo will do a good job out there. So yeah, it's good. We getting some games outside of the main Mario franchise because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let me get this out there. Everybody knows like the three kings of Nintendo: Mario, Zelda, and Pokemon.
Oh,
Again,
oh man, you had to bring a Pokemon, huh?
sorry, hey, Pokemon's bringing in money, so
Pokemon
but
bringing the
any
money, but Pokemon sucks.
hey,
I'm not. Nah, I'm saying it now. Pokemon is trash, overrated. Okay, I want to be the very best that no one ever was. But I'm telling you, Pokeballs will come to my mailbox. I can see that now.
but as far as like the gameplay mechanics, like I mean, I'd like to see something different with the gameplay mechanics because I'm sure you're gonna get new weapons, like how to catch the ghosts and everything.
Yeah.
Because outside of the vacuum cleaner that he carries around with, yeah, it'd also be cool. Like let's say like him and Daisy team up. It'd be nice to use other characters outside of Luigi for the main storyline, other than versus the multiplayer things. I mean, like I said, it's like, hey, I mean, Daisy and Luigi, hey, they're a couple. Well, I should say, if they are a couple, cool, because unlike his shorter big brother, it's like he got friend zone city by the princess. But anyway,
Yeah,
back to
that's very
Luigi.
funny.
I mean, it'd be cool and all, like, you can use other characters like for the main storyline, but that's all I
Hmm.
like to see about it. But what say you, Kano?
I just want to see a unique storyline, make it a little bit more darker and kind of grittier, in a sense, but keep it PG for the kids out there too.
Hmm.
The ghost, I feel like okay, if you look at the Nintendo Switch Pro, it's not
Yep.
a Nintendo Switch 2, it's the Nintendo Switch Pro. Only thing that I see within it, you see graphically enhanced. You don't really see too much graphically enhanced. You just see more of a 60 frames per second input put into the whole thing, implemented
Right.
into it. So they're gonna have to utilize the 60 frames per second on this new Luigi's Mansion for one, and for two, they gotta really make the game stand out from its original predecessor. Because if they don't, they're gonna look at it as the same game. For one,
Right.
all right. Now, have I played Luigi's Mansion before? One and two, yes. Three, no, I haven't played Luigi's Mansion three. I might have to take a look at it though, man. And go back to through the original ones and play it for real, for real. You feel what I'm saying? But what I would like to see from Luigi's Mansion when they bring it back, like I said, a little bit darker, a little bit grittier. You feel what I'm saying? Uh, some updated weapons and how to maneuver around doing some stuff, doing some different things, making the game continuously be fun, and then really utilize if they want to put multiplayer aspects of it as far as co-op side. Utilize it to the highest capacity, man, because Nintendo is really trying to get into that online style with some of their stuff too. You dig?
Mhm.
So it's a lot to see with the Luigi's mentioned. So we'll definitely see. You know, you never know. You dig? So, anywho, let's go ahead and talk about this rumored Metroid game. Not Metroid, but Metro game. All
Metro.
right. All right. So I own all three Metro games. Metro Redux 2033, Metro Last Light, and Metro Exodus, I think. I'm trying to remember. I might forget the name. It's been a while since I played that game. I beat all three of them, right?
Yeah.
So what I would like to see in the new Metro is same thing, dark, gritty, not sugarcoating nothing, and really going ham to the highest capacity on a whole nother pedestal, on a whole nother level. You dig?
Mhm.
I want to see great gameplay as far as the gunplay, the better upgraded mechanics, better storytelling, great graphics, the whole nine. So, what about you? What is it that you would like to see from this game?
I mean, yeah, like whether it brings some new mechanics to like unlike the previous games because yeah, I've seen your reviews of like of the Metros. I mean, I've seen
Mhm,
other gameplay of it too. I mean, it looks great, but I'll eventually get to play it for myself. Just to see how like the previous games are up until they release this. They're working on this newest one, so
mhm,
um, yeah, I definitely want to see what's the storyline going to be about, the gameplay mechanics. Um, of course, like I mean, I know graphically it's gonna look. Hopefully, it looks great.
mhm.
It's like as long as they take their time to do it right. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it will do fine.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, that's why I don't have much to say about it because I know Metro is more up your alley than mine. So,
yeah. The thing about it is like, okay, I'm into first person shooters. I like first person shooters to a degree. I don't
me
like all
too.
first person shooters. I know you are too, especially Battlefield. That's really up your alley.
Battlefield, Call of Duty.
Hmm. My type of first person shooters is on the levels of Borderlands. I like Call of Duties to a certain degree and Battlefields to a certain degree. Like my favorite is Battlefield Bad Company 2. That's one of my favorites. I'm hoping they do a Battlefield Bad Company 3 down the road, which I highly doubt because EA they cheap.
Yep.
But what I would like to see in Metro, like I said, I want a great story. I want a uniqueness of the storyline. Um, Not too dense when it comes to being outside because you're in Russia and you know how chemically imbalanced that place is.
You're right.
So I want to have a balance of that aspects of it where it won't be overdone. I want to make sure that when I play the game, I don't see any bugs and glitches in that game. That's just the whole fact of the nature. No bugs, no glitches. You know what I'm saying? Like Obi Trice said, Obi Trice real name, no gimmicks.
Yep.
We don't need no game with no gimmicks. We need a real Metro game, and we need to make sure that when we play it, we need to see that the game is going to be fire at the end of the day.
Hmm.
That's just my forte about the game. So that's really all I gotta say about it. And dang man, we ran through these topics fast.
Right.
God, we ran through these topics. So we come to the end of the gamer section podcast. You feel me? This is episode 10. This was an actual phenomenal episode, man. It feels good to be back because we haven't did a podcast in dang near a month.
Right. So,
But, reviews kicked our behind basically. We still got reviews to go. We got a lot of reviews dropping this week. You know what I'm saying? And some of these reviews that's upcoming is one of them is a highly anticipated game it was been delayed a lot of times, but it's gonna be out the game comes out this week, and I got my hands on the game, and the review is coming out. I'm not gonna say what it is. I got some great things to say about the game, so y'all definitely check out that review this coming week. Um, oh yeah, and Pragmata comes out this week, so can't wait to play that. Capcom hit us up, let us get a review code early. Capcom hit us up. All right. But Anywho, though, man, this has been a phenomenal podcast. But let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room before we go, because I know people will ask.
Right.
Tech. So everybody's wondering, where is Tech? So to the people that don't know, Tech is no longer with the gamer section team. He left, and all the wish him all the best. No harm, no foul. We also looked at it as a trial run at the same time too. But he has left the gamer section. That's cool. That's fine with us. We're not going to cry over spilled milk. We're not going to do none of that stuff. We wish him all the best, and at the end of the day, we're going to keep pressing forward. Now, if you want to be a part of the gamer section, we're looking for multiple people to join the team, male and female. We're looking for podcasters, extra podcasters to give their honest perspective in gaming, that know their gaming stuff, that know their gaming history. We're looking for reviewers. We're looking for news-related people. We're looking to just expand on the team, because right now we're just a 2-person team. You dig what I'm saying?
Yes.
So what I'm saying is that, let's work. Let's put the nose to the grindstone. Let's work. We're looking for reliable people that's really content creators that really want to put in that work as well, that want to review games, that want to create gaming news content, that want to go to the convention like we want to go to the conventions and stuff like that, that want to stream just like we want to stream, game just like us. So if you're interested, please email us at gamersectionpodcast@gmail.com, or email or DM us on social media. You dig what I'm saying? So that's all I really got to say about that. So let's go ahead and get to the outros, and I'm going to start off real quick. So you can follow me on all my social medias at Real Ko Kano. I talk to everybody. I just dropped a song, No Fringe, on SoundCloud and all that.
All right.
Yeah, so y'all can follow the gamer section at the gamer section on all social media platforms, on YouTube, on Twitch at Gamer Section Media, on Twitter, aka X, on Blue Sky. Everything is at the gamer section. You feel what I'm saying? And we just rebranded the logo and everything. We just did a whole little rebrand, and we trying to be as more professional as possible. We're trying to get our accounts verified. If y'all want to donate, you know what I'm saying, join or become a member, become a member, man, because that money helps us to get the show on the road when it comes to getting stuff verified, giving y'all what y'all need, man. Great content and stuff like that too. So you dig what I'm saying? So please support us, man. That's all we asking for, y'all support, man. Donate. If y'all, we're not asking for much, just donate and help us grow and build that platform. You dig what I'm saying? So Sinister, go ahead and give you outro, man.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is your boy Sinister. Yeah, you can follow me on my social medias. On Instagram it's Sinister1019. On X it's Conchu19. Xbox is Sinister Tar Heel, all caps. PlayStation is BodyCount92. Steam is Sinister Tar Heel, spelled correctly. Then my Switch one, well, you gotta go to my YouTube channel to get it, because I'm not gonna display it here.
Exactly. Everything's also in the description below. So make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the post notification bell for when we drop videos. You dig? We out. Peace.
Later.
Choose your fighter. Lightning inspired. Fight.